It's 9 a.m., time for the only garden talk radio show in Milwaukee. Tell your friends, the Wisconsin Vegetable Gardener is on the air. Join us and let's grow together.
Coming up on the program today, it's all about debunking common garden myths so you can save time in your garden by not doing things that are not effective, as well as making kombucha. What is kombucha and how you can make it in your home for a very low expense. And graduate from Milwaukee's own Teens Grow Greens organization, Ryan Graham, will be with us to talk about the organization and what it does and how it serves the community, as well as your garden questions and our garden answers. All that starts right now on the only garden talk radio show in the city of Milwaukee.
Welcome to the Wisconsin Vegetable Gardener Radio Show with your hosts, Joey and Holly Baird, some of the realest gardeners that you'll ever know, always willing to share their knowledge, mistakes, and working to grow together. Founders of the WisconsinVegetableGardener.com that contains over 1,100 garden videos to show and teach others to grow some of what they eat. Join them for the next hour as they cover practical gardening information that has worked for them and more. Now here they are.
It is the Wisconsin Vegetable Gardener Radio Show on 860 AM WNOV and FM 106.5 live in the city of Milwaukee. I am your host, Joey Baird. Beside me is my wife, co-host, best friend, gardening partner. She's back.
Holly Baird.
The WisconsinVegetableGardener.com is the location where you can find over 1,200 plus garden videos, short and long format, gardening videos, short and long format, podcast replays, full-length in-studio video segments of this very program, Season 1, Season 2. There's a number of ways in which you can contact us, one being an email. You can send us an email at any time at twvgshow@gmail.com. You can tweet us at twvg. On Twitter, as well as hashtag TWVG, as well as you can call into the IV Organics 3-in-1 Plant Guard hotline.
IV Organic is launching 2 lines of organic fertilizer this Saturday right after our show.
Strategically timed.
You can watch the replay, but you may not win. There's a contest. So they're releasing this super blend formula, all the macronutrients plants need, plus beneficial microbes, mycorrhizae, and many micronutrients. It's going to have NPK, Mg, S, and Ca, which is magnesium, so the nitrogen, potassium, what's the other word?
Magnesium,
sulfate, and then calcium. Feed soil, nutritional foliar feed, compost tea supplement makes up to 20 plus gallons of liquid fertilizer for organic gardening. If you want to enter to win, you can... First,
you can go to ivorganics.com. They have all the contest rules there. They're going to be live at 10:05 Central Standard Time.
And 3 of you that listen to the radio show, if you do this, if you do the contest and then put the letters TWVG in the subject line, it'll set you apart. But basically, you just have to do some social media posting and sharing, and then you can get entered into this contest. And again, it's at ivorganics.com. But don't forget, if you're listening, you want to do this, put TWVG in the subject line.
And you can win some stuff. We also want to thank, you who are listening currently, but those who listen on the podcast replay. We've had tremendous download numbers over the last 7 days, and we're just very thankful that people tune into our program, download our program, not from just Milwaukee, but from literally, we've got places, Europe, Ireland, Canada, Mexico, all across the world, and the United States, so we thank you for that. Well, let's get into the show, Holly. We're going to talk about debunking common garden myths. Last year, we had 4 segments of this. They were very popular, and we're going to cover a handful today of garden myths. And garden myths are practices in which we have been taught, passed down, read about, that we do, and there's really not any proof that it's beneficial. It's kind of more of a waste of time, money, and energy is what it comes down to in a lot of cases.
Right, definitely. So the first one we have is buried banana peels giving roses and other plants a potassium boost. So banana peels do contain high levels of potassium, but burying the whole peels could be bad. It's not bad necessarily, but what happens is that it takes them a while to break down.
Right, just like any composting process, there's a time period in which it takes for the microbes and the soil organisms to make that material in a usable form for the plants to uptake to feed the plants.
Right. So Yeah, that's exactly it.
Granular fertilizers are designed to either be time-release or water-soluble, which water-soluble means they're readily available for the plants to pick up. Time-release is over a period of time. They break down according to the size, particle, nutrient value, and it feeds the plants. When you put eggshells in the hole at the time of planting or a banana peel, it's not instantaneous nutrients available to the plant. That thing's going to sit there until it breaks down to a particle size, or I'm not a soilologist here. You know more about this than I do.
Right. So what happens is that it needs to go through the composition process. And if you just put banana peels in your soil, that's fine. But it could take anywhere from a year to 18 months for the plant to actually benefit from that potassium.
By putting it in a compost pile, the compost pile heats up, breaks down much, much quicker because of all of the microbial life that is in that compost pile. And it can be utilized much more beneficial as a compost material rather than a solid piece of vegetable or skin or fruit skin or vegetable skin underneath the base of your plant.
Right. So that's one. Newly planted trees require staking. So
we see this.
We see this all the time. If your tree is top heavy, or maybe you put it in a really windy location, otherwise it doesn't need staking. A little movement is good for the trees because it allows them to get their strength. Right. Essentially, it's kind of like when we start seedlings. Many people will put little fans on their seedlings once established because they're going to put them outside in the elements. If you stake your tree and it's not necessary, you're not helping that.
You're
tree.
weakening the tree. Now, some straps with some movement is okay. Some people put 1.5 feet of wood chips around the base, which is not good. Secondly, they strap it down like they're trying to hold a TV antenna up on a hill where there's no movement whatsoever.
Right.
So in a year, number one, the bark begins to grow into whatever material typically that is being used as a strap. So you're hurting the tree that way. Secondly, in a year's time, you remove the straps, and that tree is weaker than it was the day you planted it because you've basically said, hey, I'll take care of you for a year. You don't have to worry about building any internal trunk structure for your life cycle.
Right. So you don't have to do it unless it's top heavy and or you're in a typhoon area.
But don't strap it down.
Don't strap it down
so tight that it can't move at all.
Right.
Some movement is good.
Yeah. So unless maybe there's a typhoon coming, then maybe you wanna stake it down before that happens.
Another one is the myth is that you can put beer in the garden as a fertilizer substitute.
Yeah, that's not true. Basically, beer is mostly water and sugar.
A high level of sugar.
High level of sugar. So you're not really doing anything to the microorganisms. Basically, if you want to do something good for your plants, you just buy some fertilizer, buy some nutrients for them, and you save that beer for yourself.
There was a gardener many years ago. He's passed on now, Jerry Baker. He was a PBS. Every time they ran a telethon, Jerry Baker was there talking about feed this, feed that, can of beer this, can of beer that. It feeds the microbes, the sugars in it does this. There's really not a whole lot of scientific benefits behind this.
And I'm just like trying to figure out why.
He sold a lot of books because people thought, you put beer in this, you put beer in that, you spray it on your plants, you spray it on your lawn. It's supposed to do all these great things. Really, the science has shown there's not a whole lot of information.
It is good though. It is beneficial for if you have slugs. I know that.
Right. Not to spray on the slugs, but to make beer traps.
To make beer traps for them. That's probably the most beneficial thing for the garden. There's another one here. Baking soda cures black spot. So black spot is
Go ahead
is that little spot that you see on maple leaves.
And also on roses.
Oh, on roses.
Roses is a predominant one that people think that it will benefit from using the baking soda, and simply not the case.
So instead, if you have roses with black spot, you can use a spray with 1 part milk, 2 parts water, and then you would spray that and help control the mildew.
Right, controls it. And that's the same type of remedy in which you use for powdery mildew on your squash and vine crops in the late summer. So don't worry about, there are specific items at the garden center that are, organic and inorganic that can be used for these particular applications. And like if you're using the baking soda, you're just you're wasting your time. There's science has proven that there's no significant value to that whatsoever.
Right. So another myth is coffee grounds to lower your soil pH. Yes, coffee is acidic itself, but once you brew your coffee, it loses that acidity. That acidity then goes to you, actually, and the coffee grounds then, and it's not super high in acid, but the acidity is brewed out, and the coffee grounds remain, but they are a good source of nitrogen. They're just not
a green material.
Right. They're just not a phenomenal source of acid or lowering your pH, but you can definitely...
People for years have been saying, you put coffee grounds, you pour coffee around your blueberry plants, it'll change the acidity, your pH in your soil. That's simply not the case.
It could slightly change the acidity.
Minutely. We're not looking at numbers,
right.
Jumping from
there's other
5
ways
to 4.
to adjust the acidity in your soil, and it's not coffee.
Right. There's other applications in which you
can. But it is go to organic matter.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. We put it in the garden for the worms. It's about a 2% nitrogen, which you have to mix it in. Otherwise, that evaporates into the atmosphere and you lose it. But it's a great organic material to use in the garden as an organic building base.
Mm-hmm, definitely.
So hopefully that has helped you learn some things that you didn't know. We learned a couple of things in the process of preparation for that particular segment as well. When we come back, it's all about kombucha. Most of you have heard about it. We're going to talk about what it is, how it benefits you, and how you can make it in your own home right after this.
Got a question? Email the show at twvgshow@gmail.com.
The number one key to healthy, productive plants are the roots. Starting from seed to full-grown plants, rootmaker.com has the answer. From seed starting trays with an innovative design that air prunes the roots, creating a fabulous root system, never again will you have root-bound plants, to multiple gallon grow bag sizes to raised beds. Rootmaker.com has your grow needs covered. Visit rootmaker.com.
Pomona's Universal Pectin is high-quality pectin that gels reliably with low amounts of any sweetener. If you're trying to reduce the amount of sugar in your diet, you'll love Pomona's Universal Pectin. Now you can make healthy homemade jams and jellies sweetened to your taste. You can use sugar, honey, or any alternative sweetener you'd like. Pomona's Universal Pectin keeps indefinitely when stored in an airtight container. Easy to use, versatile, and comes with directions and recipes in every box. Find out more and where to buy at PomonaPectin.com. Available at most natural food stores and online. Mycorrhizae is a beneficial fungus from PlantSuccessOrganics.com that will greatly increase your plant's germination ability and healthier root structure. You can increase seed sprouting, root growth, and general plant germination. Mycorrhizae can be used with hydroponic root cutting, seed sprouting, cocoa coir, and soil. PlantSuccessOrganics.com carries powder, granule, and tablet form of mycorrhizae. Increase the level of mycorrhizae in your soil to give your plant the optimal opportunity to produce incredible harvests. For more information and to purchase, visit PlantSuccessOrganics.com.
Zaz Products, offering great quality supplements that can help personal health and increase longevity. Committed to bringing you the highest quality products at the lowest price. Find out more at ZazProducts.com. Tall Earth Wood Treatment, all-in-one preservative and stain, offers lifetime protection and creates a unique silver-aged wood finish. All ingredients are non-toxic, eco-friendly, perfect for garden beds and veg truck. Find out more at TallEarth.com. Free shipping on all orders. Use coupon code WISCONVEG to save 15% off orders placed at tallearth.com. The job of weeds? This garden fun fact is sponsored by ManureTea.com. Get your 3-pack today. Drop the tea bag in water, let steep, then feed your soil, not your plants. 100% organic. Find out more at ManureTea.com. Always free shipping. Weeds are simply nature's way of covering up bare soil. They are genetically designed to germinate, propagate, and grow faster than most of your garden plants. Use a natural mulch such as shredded leaves or dry chemical-free, seed-free grass clippings to cover that bare soil to prevent weeds from growing. Shield and Seal vacuum sealers and the highest quality vacuum sealing products, unique black and clear and all black bags, protecting your produce and product better than traditional bags. Find out more at shieldandseal.com.
Wouldn't you love to get more from your growing space? By utilizing the square foot garden method and properly spacing your plants, Seeding Square will optimize and organize your veggie garden to grow more greens and less weeds. The square foot color-coded seed spacer is a great tool for any garden, ground container, or raised bed, and all experience levels, even little green thumbs. For more information, visit seedingsquare.com. Seeding Square is gardening made simple.
Garden seeds do not have to cost a fortune, just 99 cents at migardener.com. Now with over 450 varieties of non-GMO, heirloom, and organic flower, vegetable, and herb seeds available year-round. Pay less and get more seeds. Shipping as low as $2.50. That just makes sense. Go to migardener.com for seeds and garden needs, tools, and special blend fertilizers. migardener.com. It's that simple. Family owned and operated.
Blue Mel's Garden and Landscape Center offers an awesome selection of high-quality garden and landscape products. We have just the plants you're looking for: annuals, perennials, veggies, herbs, and more. Plus, you can always count on us to answer all of your questions and offer expert advice. Blue Mel's also carries the largest selection of bulk landscape materials in the area. Enjoy a beverage from our coffee shop while your kids run around in our huge playground. Join our growing list of highly satisfied customers. Visit the garden center that offers everything you're looking for. Visit Blue Mel's today.
Blue Mel's, 4930 West Loomis Road, 414-282-4220.
Now back to the Wisconsin Vegetable Garden Radio Show with your hosts, Joey and Holly Baird.
We always like making things in our homes that are beneficial to us, that are much more cost-effective than buying it at the store. And kombucha is one of those items. Now, Holly, you know a lot about kombucha. So first of all, for people who have heard the term, seen the bottles at the store, what is kombucha, number one?
So kombucha is basically a slightly fermented tea. So it's not fermented enough where it has like a high alcohol content, but it's fermented enough where it becomes beneficial to you.
Okay.
So I guess people commonly fermented things that we eat are things like yogurt, sauerkraut, things like that. So this is like that.
It's not a pickled type of thing.
No, it's not pickled. So,
so what is the basis of a kombucha here?
So,
or how do we? What is the beneficial aspect of drinking kombucha, and how much should one drink in order to get that benefit in their body?
Well, if you've never had kombucha, you want to start kind of small.
Okay.
If you don't eat a lot of fermented foods, or maybe a lot of things that have that fermented, it's called lactic acid in it, you might have some stomach upset and things like that. So you want to start a little small, and that way you will you'll be able to adjust. So you definitely don't want to go to the store and buy a gallon of kombucha and down it in one day.
Okay.
You maybe like half a cup, a day.
Gradually work your system up to that.
But it's very beneficial because it has that bacteria that's good for your gut health. And a lot of us eat, maybe not super healthy. It's good for your gut health. It's good for your immune system. It's just beneficial overall for your body.
Okay.
So that's why you want to eat
And there's a lot of different, I guess we'd call flavors.
Right.
Of kombucha.
So kombucha is made with tea, and it's also made with something called a SCOBY.
Okay.
And a SCOBY is a symbiotic culture of bacteria and yeast. So SCOBY is an acronym for that, and that's what it is. It's a living home for the bacteria and yeast to transition the tea into the kombucha.
So we can make this at home, but we have to have the SCOBY as the groundwork in order to create the kombucha, whether it's a gallon or 2 gallons or 3, whatever we're making, correct?
Right. So basically, you can buy a SCOBY from online. You can maybe you have a friend who has one, because as the more kombucha you make, that SCOBY kind of grows, multiplies. It will grow, basically. It picks up the fermentation process, and it continues to grow.
It's a living organism.
It is living, yeah.
And for the uncommon eye, it looks very disgusting.
It looks kind of gross. It looks like a big flat piece of snot.
Yeah,
but
that's essential, and it's kind of got a rubbery, rubbery consistency to it.
Yeah, so...
and people will make these specifically and ship them out, and you can also store them what is called SCOBY hotels in jars, and you keep this thing alive by feeding it sugars, essentially, bacteria, for it to break down.
And it's good bacteria. It's
beneficial
bacteria. Some people make their own SCOBYs by fermenting the tea and then it creates its own SCOBY. That's something that if you're new to fermentation or making your own kombucha might be a little bit challenging, so I would suggest just getting a SCOBY yourself.
Okay, so we start with the SCOBY, and you mentioned tea.
So what
this
you're doing
is the active ingredient?
Right, tea is the active ingredient. So you're going to take black tea. It's best to start with black tea.
Only black tea. We can't use green...
To start.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
okay.
You start with black tea, and it's a sweet tea, so it has some sugar in it. And it's going to be nice and sweet. And you don't want to put your SCOBY in there when it's hot. You let it go to room temperature. And then you...
Once we get the ingredients, the SCOBY, the black tea, we put it in it has to be a glass jar.
Right, you do a glass jar. So whether it be
with the lid off, but with a breathable material on top of it.
Yeah, you can put cheesecloth, like an old sock with a hole in it, something
clean.
Like that. It has to be clean.
A coffee filter.
Coffee filter.
Okay.
Yeah, something like that where it's like porous, but not like enough where stuff can get in there.
So once we and there's plenty of recipes online, and we're doing this ourselves. We've got a large glass a 2-gallon glass jar with a nozzle on the bottom of it where we can extract. It's called continuous kombucha. We extract 1 gallon out. We put 1 gallon of black tea in. It creates and allows the kombucha to form and develop much quicker than in a smaller batch.
Right. So that's the first process of making your kombucha. And then if you want to make it flavored, people will add things like berries or fruit, and then do what's called a second fermentation, where it adds that flavor.
Not required.
Not required, but that's like you'll see like videos on YouTube and stuff like that where people do a second fermentation to give it some flavor.
So now that we've got this, what is the time period? Okay, I've got all my ingredients. I've put it all in the jar. What's the time period and what activities do I have to do to that kombucha? Do I just put it in a corner and let it sit and forget about it for X amount of days or weeks?
It really just depends on the temperature in your home. It can take anywhere from a couple days to a week, maybe longer. But you'll know because it does this fermentation. It gets the smell, the fermentation smell.
Not a nasty
a gross smell.
Okay.
No, it's just slightly fermented. A lot of times if you buy a SCOBY, it'll come with some pH test strips. You can test the acidity until you get used to knowing what that acidity level should be.
And there's a specific range in which you need that to be in order to classify as kombucha.
Right.
So we're doing it on what I would say a large batch, a large 2 gallons. Can you do this on a smaller level, or do you have to go large in order for this to work correctly?
No, when I've done it in a half-gallon or a quart-sized jar. So you don't have to do large. You can start small, see how it works out for you, see how you like it. See, it's not something that you can just do every once in a while. It kind of becomes a continual process for a lot of people. You can, like Joey said, make it into a SCOBY hotel and store your SCOBY that way, but if you get too big of a SCOBY or too much, you can give it to friends and family, or you can throw it in your compost.
And there's different ways of breaking that SCOBY apart to divide it to... okay, so we've got... If we don't want to go purchase a SCOBY, I have heard that you can go to the store and get raw kombucha that's got what is called a mother in it, and you can start developing a SCOBY in that. That takes longer than actually buying a large SCOBY that's pretty much ready to be inserted into your batch making procedure.
Right. So you can do that, and there's a lot of ways to learn how to do that. There's videos online, there's Facebook groups, things like that. I've never attempted it, but it's definitely an option. But that you would start small. Right,
start small, and because that mother, it's just like raw cider vinegar. There's that item floating in the liquid, and that is actually the basis of what you need in order for this to, whether if you're making vinegar or you're making kombucha, that's that whole, if you don't have that, you don't have the kombucha.
Right.
Without it. So when it comes to, let's talk about the second fermentation, if we want to do that. We start with the large jug.
So once that's fermented, then you would take an individual bottle, a glass bottle.
Mason jar? Or does it have to be a smaller concentrated unit?
Well, when you open it, it might be difficult to open it because it builds up a lot of pressure.
Okay.
So like something like...
Almost like a carbonation?
Yeah.
Okay.
So a lot of people will do it in those like bottles that have the little pop tops.
Okay.
With a rubber stopper that you can get. I don't know. I've seen them anywhere from like Target to World Market, but you do it in there. And a lot of times you have to put it in a bowl or something, and then people put like a plastic bag over top to open it, so the the fizz or the fizz doesn't like shoot out.
So if we do not do the second fermentation, not required, what kind of flavor are we looking at as
it's just like a sweet tea flavor
with a slight
fermentation,
right,
acidic taste to it. Yeah.
Okay, and it's not alcohol, like a beer.
No,
there is a very minute amount of alcohol in it. And this was a thing several years ago that the grocery stores and the government was all like, we can't sell this because
they weren't sure where to put it. They weren't sure to put it in the, like near where the yogurt is kept, or to put it into like the liquor department.
And we now know that it's in the everyday anybody can drink it aisle of the grocery store because
people give it to their kids all the time. There's just a negligible effect of alcohol. It's not going to be something where your children...
A beneficial level of bacteria and alcohol in it to build your gut immune system, essentially what's happening.
Yeah, your children aren't going to be, inebriated. It's just where it's beneficial to you.
So if you've never had kombucha, number one, go to the store and get a bottle. It can be $2 to $3, but number one, find out if you even like this stuff. Because there's no sense of going through all the procedures and going, I'm making kombucha, and then you find out it's not what you thought it was or might be. And sometimes, and many of you know this, if it's bad, if it tastes bad, it's probably good for you. With medicine or with the plants, or if you're eating natural wild edibles, some of these things taste horrible, but they have such great health benefits for our bodies.
Like I eat plain yogurt,
right?
And a lot of people can't stand that because they say it's sour. But you become adjusted to it after a while.
Right. It's not French fries and potato chips.
No.
What we're accustomed to. Well, when we come back, we're going to have the honor of speaking with a graduate from the North Milwaukee-based Teens Grow Greens. Ryan Graham will be with us. He's going to tell us about the organization and how it benefits the community and how it has affected his life for the positive right after this.
Use Twitter to reach Joey and Holly at TWVG Show or hashtag TWVG.
Here at Outpost Natural Foods, it's not just that we're community-owned that sets us apart. It's the fabulous foods we sell. We celebrate Earth Day every day by offering our customers the finest natural and organic food selections in Greater Milwaukee. Outpost local farmers and vendors provide our stores with a delicious selection of fresh seasonal produce that you won't want to miss. Outpost stores are located in Milwaukee, Wauwatosa, Bayview, and Mequon. We're a real Milwaukee original where anyone can shop and anyone can join. For the whole scoop about Outpost, we invite you to visit www.outpost.coop.
Do you enjoy hanging baskets but struggle to keep them properly watered? The Plant Booster Self-Watering System is a mechanical system that will ensure optimal soil moisture at all times by reacting to the weight of each plant. The weight of each plant tells the system how much water it needs, unlike a timer-controlled system where all plants get water at the same time, whether they need it or not. Also ideal for condos or apartments with no outdoor water source. Check out details, videos, and extensive explanation and ideas for application at plantbooster.net. Are you short on time when it comes to grocery shopping? Yes, I'm talking to you. ShopWoodmans.com offers online shopping for store pickup or delivery on their over 60,000 plus items at Woodman's everyday low prices. Order online, select a pickup or delivery time, and create more time to do what you want. Leave the work to Woodman's. Also, check out the ShopWoodmans.com app. You can even make special requests, like specific sizes of produce. For more information, visit ShopWoodmans.com.
Root Assassin, a garden tool that does all the root functions with its advanced shovel that has serrated edges on both sides. Find out more information at rootAssassinShovel.com. Rebel Green, responsibly made natural products that are good for you and the environment. Made in the USA, plant-based, vegan, and always toxic-free. Find out more at rebelgreen.com. Use coupon code WIVEG15 to save 15% off your next purchase at rebelgreen.com/shop. Flame Engineering, home of the Weed Dragon, the perfect propane torch kit for home and garden use. For killing weeds, no need to pull or spray. 100 other uses. Find out more at flameengineering.com. It's that time to get your lawn lush and green with the Chapin spreader, the broadcast spreader that outperforms all in their class. Get consistent results year after year as if you had hired your own professional lawn service. Find Chapin spreaders online or order through your local Home Depot, Lowe's, True Value, or Do It Best hardware stores. To see the full line of Chapin lawn and garden products, go to www.chapinmfg.com. This season, arm yourself with the better spreader, Chapin. The Tree Diaper is an advanced plant hydration system. It is an innovative device that captures and holds the water around your plants once full and hydrates them slowly when the plants need it over a period of 30 days. From half to 30-gallon capacity based on your needs. And easy to install even for a first-time gardener. The Tree Diaper reduces weeds, protects plants, enhances root growth, and prevents overwatering. Whether you're growing trees, vegetables, flowers, houseplants, in containers, or the ground, your plants will benefit greatly by allowing the Tree Diaper to do the work for you. Find out more at treediaper.com. Made in the USA.
An Oya is an unglazed porous clay pot with a short neck and a wider belly. Bury your Oya neck deep in your raised bed, container, or ground garden and let the Oya do your watering by releasing water as needed. How? By soil moisture tension for all you techies out there. This is an eco-friendly, efficient, ancient way to water your plants using up to 70% less water than other irrigation methods. It saves you time and is easy to install. Find a retailer through DrippingSpringsOyas.com. Smart watering, easy gardening.
Now back to the Wisconsin Vegetable Garden Radio Show.
You just don't want to lollygag around and take your sweet time. This is a time-sensitive thing.
With your hosts, Joey and Holly Baird.
Blue Mills Landscape and Garden Center is the place for your garden needs, whether you're doing landscape, remodeling of your back patio, whatever the case is. You want edibles, perennials, flowers, vegetables, or whatever. Blue Mills has got it. They just do not have a garden center a couple of weeks a year. This is their life. This is what they do. They have a knowledgeable staff on hand. Blue Mills Landscape and Garden Center is the place for you. They've got a coffee shop on the premise. They've got a great playground that your kids can play in. You're not supposed to leave them alone. I found that out by reading the sign. But Blue Mills Landscape and Garden, they got bulk material. They got over 40 different types of bulk material, and you do not have to have a truck to get the bulk material. I went there with friends that had cars, and we were able to get a quarter of a yard of compost, potting mix, raised bed mix in the back of the car.
So you just need a vehicle.
A vehicle in bags. We bucket it and put it in bags, and you can take it to your garden, your raised beds, wherever the case is. It works very, very well.
So they're at 4930 West Loomis Road in Greenfield, just south of Layton. And it's bluemills.com, or you can call 414-282-4220. And, yeah.
Holly, let's go to the Ivy Organics 3-in-1 Plant Guard hotline and bring in our next guest.
So Ryan Graham is a graduate of the Milwaukee-based Teens Grow Greens organization, and we're happy to have him on the show to tell us about his experience and what the program is all about. Welcome to the program, Ryan.
Thank you. Good morning.
Well, good morning. I appreciate you taking time out of your day and the connections that we had that you can tell us about this. This was something I found through just working on Facebook, one of the posts that came up about Teens Grow Greens, and I thought this was a great opportunity to share with the community because our listeners and people across the country about the organization, and we greatly appreciate your time that you've given us.
No problem. Thank you for having me.
So what is the Teens Grow Greens program? If you can kind of give us an overall view of what the program does, what's the ultimate goal?
Yeah, so Teens Grow Greens is a 501c3 nonprofit, and what we do is we take teenagers from inner city Milwaukee, and we employ them for 9 months. And during the 9-month internship, they learn about healthy living, leadership, and entrepreneurship. And so the goal of the program is to teach teenagers in Milwaukee these life skills that they're not being taught.
So how does an individual, what's the age bracket there, and how does an individual sign up or get picked for this organization?
Yeah, so we usually recruit freshmen to juniors in high school, and we recruit in different high schools, so basically any high school that lets us come in, we'll go to. And we, give them a spiel about what the program is, what they'll learn throughout the 9 months, their pay as well, because that's really what they're interested in at the jump. And then we just have a general application process for a normal job. So you get an interview, you schedule a time, and then you get the email back.
Now, not everybody is, I guess, let's use the word qualified or worthy of being part of the organization. There's some people that get turned down, or does everybody get accepted?
There are some people that get turned down just because we have a maximum capacity of 22, but we're not looking for people to be perfect during the interview. We in fact want exactly the opposite of that, because we realize that if we're going to teach these life skills to kids, we can't expect them to be perfect coming in.
Right, and it is typically these teenagers, they come from all walks of life. It's not just one general category, correct? It's just anybody and everybody who's interested can apply?
Yep, so we usually stick to the schools that we go to, so they're primarily centered around inner city Milwaukee because we recognize that this population of students, me included, are people who don't have the most support educationally, economically, all of that stuff. So we try to help those people out. Now, why did you decide to join the program? Yeah, so I joined the program in 2015, the program was started in 2014, and I joined it in 2015. And I joined it because I got told that there would be like a lot of opportunities and opportunities to network, and it would have been my first job, so I thought, why not? But I decided to stay throughout the program. So after I graduated as an intern, so after my 9 months was over, I came back and I was on the board of directors, and I'm now the education manager. So I think I came for the networking opportunities and obviously the pay because it would be my first job, but I stayed because of the growth.
Now, did you have any prior knowledge of, I guess we'll call it agriculture or growing before you entered into the program?
Zero.
Okay, so you were taught basically you didn't know what mistakes to make, and they taught you how to go about growing different vegetables, and that's essentially what the program is, to teach children or teenagers how to, one, grow, and then how to market that item and then sell it and then make a profit. Is that kind of the outline?
That is part of the outline.
Okay.
So that is what we do towards the beginning. But towards the end of the program, so like now until September, we're really working on developing the teams. So right now they're in the leadership unit, and with the leadership unit, they will be mentoring elementary school students and teaching them about character traits, the value of community, as well as how to grow and harvest their own foods. And then we are also selling at markets like Cathedral Square today and Westtown Farmers Markets on Wednesdays, and we're selling an acai bowl. And it's basically a superfruit from Brazil, and we mix it with other fruits into like a smoothie, and we can top it off with granola. So we sell that at the markets during the summertime, and we're just using that to get the teens ready for the entrepreneurship unit, which is the last unit in Teens Grow Greens. During the entrepreneurship unit, the teens will make their own product, make their own business, and then they will go to the farmers markets and sell it.
So where's the gardens at? Is it backyards, or is there a certain central location where all the individuals in the organization grow and then kind of figure out how to utilize what is being grown and sell?
Yeah, so we hold all of our education sessions at Mesmer High School. As far as our garden, we just purchased Weber's Greenhouse on North Green Bay, so right around, really just right around the corner from Mesmer High School. And that's pretty much it. We also do the gardens at COA Golden Center, and there's a garden called Fred's Garden that's right across the street from Benjamin Franklin Elementary School. And these are the three main gardens that we operate out of. Okay.
What skills did you learn in this program?
Everything. I think that I've learned public speaking is one. I like to tell people, sometimes they don't believe me, but, before this job, I was so shy, and I was just forced to step out of that comfort zone. And I think because of that, I've grown so much. So definitely public speaking, entrepreneurship, marketing, just communicating. And I think the most important thing is just confidence in my ability to be a leader. And that's one thing that, being an educator, that's one thing that I also try to instill into the teens as well, is that confidence to lead. Because I think a lot of the times the perspective is, oh, you're a kid, you have no power. But it's not that way over here. So I think confidence was the biggest one, but obviously, public speaking, marketing, all of it.
Well, that's awesome. So I don't know if you've graduated high school, but if you have, what are you doing now? How has this benefited you now? What you're doing?
Yeah, so I am a sophomore in college. I go to St. John's University in Minnesota, so I'm back for the summer to teach at Teens Grow Greens. And I think it has helped me, first of all, my application process. So I have a full ride to St. John's that that includes room, tuition, and travel. So everything's covered, and I think part of that is because of just the leadership roles that I've had in Teens Grow Greens and my ability to communicate that and express that in my application.
So you said Teens for Greens was established about in 2014. What was the driving force? Like, where was the aha moment that the founders said, "Hey, we need to do this"? Like, how did it all come together?
So Teens for Greens was created by Charlie Eline and his wife, Rachel Eline. And Charlie basically, he recognized that as a youth, he was also a teacher at Mesmer High School. He recognized that as a person, and just recognizing that as a teacher as well, there's not a lot of life skills that are taught to the kids that he's teaching, and he definitely realized that there wasn't a lot taught to him as well. And so he came up with the idea of teaching these life skills with the foundation in agriculture.
And we've seen, and we've talked about it on the program here, kids who are active in the soil, one, understand where their food comes from, and two, they're more positive because they're creating something that is beneficial and they're helping other people as well as learning along the way too.
Yep, absolutely.
So how can people in the community support the program? How can individuals get involved with Teens Grow Greens?
I think the best thing that that the community can do is, so we have our garden on Weber's Greenhouse, which is on North Green Bay, 4215 North Green Bay Avenue. So you can come to that every Wednesday through Sunday. We'll be open from 10 to 4, I believe. And then every Wednesday we also sell at Westtown Farmers Markets. We'll be there from 10 to 2. And Cathedral Square Farmers Markets will be here every Saturday from 9 to 1. And I think also the best thing that I think everyone can do is just spread the word about Teens Grow Greens. We're always looking for volunteers, always looking for people who just want to come and help the teens as well.
No, and I know nothing, so that's why we have you on the program here. I'm assuming there is some financial that is needed. Can people donate to the organization or donate product or anything like that?
Yep. So we take all donations through our website, which is teensgrowgreens.org, and we have a donation page there. So any monetary donations can go there. As well as when we are at the farmers market, so every Wednesday and Saturday, we have a donation jar as well that we can take. So since we are a nonprofit, anything helps really. So, yeah. Absolutely.
And you came back to be back on the board after your stint in the organization and your time was up. What has other individuals done? Have you seen them take steps and leaps and bounds in a lifestyle that beforehand they probably would never have experienced or even looked at trying to do?
Oh yeah, it's so crazy to me how much the teens have actually grown throughout the program. And so when I left for college last year, I passed on the teen educator role and then also the board of directors role to two different teams, and their growth just throughout this last year has been amazing. I think one of the best things that I've been told is last year one of the teens who graduated from the program told me that I inspired them to get into college, and I think it's
that's powerful.
Yeah, it's powerful to hear, especially as I was 18 at the time and they were probably 17 or so. So it's coming from people my age, sometimes younger, sometimes probably even older, and I think it's what Milwaukee needs. We need positive reinforcement. We need positive examples from ourselves, from our youth.
Absolutely, because your grandmother, your grandpa, your dad can say, you need to do this, but whenever somebody, your peer says, hey, this is something you should really look into, it seems to be a little more of a powerful eye-opener than whenever you just hear that same lecture from an elder in the community.
Exactly, and it's more relatable as well.
Absolutely. Well, Ryan, we greatly appreciate you taking time and sharing the information about Teens Grow Greens, the organization, and enlightening all of us to this great program that maybe many of us didn't know existed just a few minutes ago in the community.
No problem. Thank you again for having me.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Ryan.
And when we come back, your garden questions and our garden answers right after this.
If you have a gardening question, now is the time to call in on the ivorganics.com 3-in-1 Plant Guard hotline at 414-444-5250.
The Handy Safety Knife is a patented, high-quality knife that's worn like a ring, so it's always conveniently at hand and very easy and efficient to work with. That's why you'll find the Handy Safety Knife at work in a wide range of industries and applications. Learn more at handysafetyknife.com. Place an order for your business. Call toll-free 866-294-3424.
Use promo code WVG to get 10% off and free shipping, one-time use only, at handysafetyknife.com. Eco Garden Systems is a revolutionary way to grow food. A fully contained raised platform with a conventional watering system. Solar power unit optional. Made from recycled material in the U.S., Eco Garden Systems raised garden bed offers sustainable organic gardening that is environmentally sound, quick and easy to set up, maintain, and fun to use. Fill your garden with soil and plant your seeds. Your Eco Garden will take care of the rest. Can set up in backyard, patio, and even your driveway, any level surface. For more information, visit EcoGardenSystems.com. Use coupon code WIVEG125 to save $125 and get free shipping, a $250 value on the purchase of an Eco Garden original garden unit, available only in stone color. Purchases must be made through the website EcoGardenSystems.com/store. Offer valid through December 31st, 2018. Available to the contiguous United States.
Beans and Barley Marketing Cafe, a neighborhood specialty grocery store for the East Side and greater Milwaukee area, where you can find all you need, from fresh produce to bakery to organic frozen dinners, from wine to fresh squeezed carrot juice. A health food store with hundreds of products, vitamins, supplements, bath and body items, magazines, cards, books, and a knowledgeable staff. Catering available, open daily at 8 a.m. The restaurant serves breakfast, lunch, and dinner 7 days a week with a menu of good, healthy, homemade food, including vegetarian and non-vegetarian specialties. 1901 East North Avenue, Milwaukee, 414-278-7878, and online at beansandbarley.com.
Purple Cow Organics quickly and naturally increases the uptake of nutrients and water to your plants with their new bioactive vegetable supercharger designed to meet the unique needs by helping the living organisms in the soil help plants uptake the nutrients more quickly through their roots and leaves. Find out more at purplecoworganics.com. The Gardener's Hollow Leg, the debris and harvesting bag you wear, comes with its own belt attachment, perfect for doing light pruning, weeding, harvesting on the ground or on a ladder, and many other uses. Find out more at thegardenershollowleg.com. Save 10% by using the word veggies at checkout. Do you have a problem with deer or small herbivores eating your vegetation? There is a natural solution that is safe for your pets and family. Bobex is the answer. An environmentally friendly solution to protect your plants, will not wash off, and is guaranteed. Bobex Deer was independently tested against 9 known competitors and rated 93% effective, second only to a physical barrier. Bobex can be used on all types of ornamentals, trees, and shrubs. Ask for it by name at your local independent garden center. Find out more, visit Bobex.com. BOBBEX.com.
Haas Tools wants to help you grow your own food. From seed starting supplies, hand tools, drip irrigation, harvesting equipment, and a complete line of all-natural pest control solutions, they've got you covered. Keep your garden weed-free with their time-tested, American-made wheel hose that are built to last a lifetime. And their precision garden seeders have proven design for planting a wide variety of seeds. Haas Tools has what you need to get the most out of your growing space, large or small. Free shipping and outstanding customer service. Shop online or request a free catalog at HaasTools.com.
I know you're looking for an alternative to harsh chemicals, but you want professional strength products. BioSafe's garden line gives you just that. Professionally used for 20 years, available to homeowners. Organic solutions that are effective. They offer an array of eco-friendly products, from plant food, fertilizer, to one-of-a-kind herbicides, organic weed killer. BioSafe's products can be used around children, pets, wildlife, so you can enjoy your yard more. Grow stronger, healthier with BioSafe. Find us on Facebook at BioSafe Home and Garden, and visit us at biosafe.net to learn more. Get 10% off your next purchase at biosafe.net by using coupon code TWVG at checkout.
Blue Mel's Garden and Landscape Center offers an awesome selection of high-quality garden and landscape products. We have just the plants you're looking for: annuals, perennials, veggies, herbs, and more. Plus, you can always count on us to answer all of your questions and offer expert advice. Blue Mel's also carries the largest selection of bulk landscape materials in the area. Enjoy a beverage from our coffee shop while your kids run around in our huge playground. Join our growing list of highly satisfied customers. Visit the garden center that offers everything you're looking for. Visit Blue Mel's today.
Blue Mills, 4930 West Loomis Road, 414-282-4220.
Now back to the Wisconsin Vegetable Gardener Radio Show, where 100% of the listeners polled prefer to hear Joey and Holly rather than an angry goat.
You're always welcome to give us a call on the Ivy Organics 3-in-1 Plant Garden hotline. Holly, how do they do that? And can you give us a little more update on the contest or the live release of their new products?
Yeah, the live release of the new product will go out just 5 minutes after our show. And there'll be 3 people from the TWVG Radio Show that will win free product by following the contest rules, which you should be able to find at ivyorganics.com. We're going to put on our Facebook page when we get out of here.
The Wisconsin Vegetable Gardener on Facebook.
So it's an all macronutrients plants need, a super blend formula. It's got beneficial microbes, mycorrhizae, many micronutrients, NPK, magnesium sulfate. Calcium feeds the soil. It's a nutritional foliar feed. Makes up to 20 gallons of liquid fertilizer for organic gardening. And you can call us right now at 414-444-5250.
And you can find more information at ivyorganics.com. Well, we have a number of questions that have come in on the program via social media platforms. Adam asked, I have rhubarb plants that was planted just over a year ago. The plants have bolted or gone to seed already. Do I need to worry? I'm not wasting. I wasn't planning on picking any of the stalks this year, but next year. My question: should I cut back the bolted seed stalks or leave them alone? I'm not picking any again this year.
You can cut it down to the crown.
Yeah, the seed stalk. We've had this happen to us.
I think it's partially because we had that weird winter, or the long winter, and because it seems to be like a lot of people's rhubarbs are bolting at this point. So you can certainly cut it down to the crown,
just that stalk,
couple inches above the crown.
Right, just the seed stalk, not a problem. Let's see. Another question here. I came to your talk in Brookfield Public Library a couple of months ago. Here are some questions that I have for you. I have a small garden, so I can't really rotate my crops. My tomatoes are always suffering from blight, starting on the lower leaf branches and working its way up through the plant. Did you say cornmeal on the soil will help, and how much and anything else should I do? I do not and will not use chemicals.
Sure. So you want to take a handful of whole grain yellow cornmeal. So not the super cheap stuff, not like the Jiffy stuff.
Not the El Cheapo you bought on sale.
You want to buy the whole grain blend cornmeal, and then what you do is you take a handful of it and put it on the base of the plant, and then you want to put some mulch over it, whether that be leaves or straw, something to help prevent that soil splash up onto the leaves.
And you can do that right now. And then the bottom 6 to 8 inches, obviously maybe some of our tomato plants are very small, but we want to trim any leaves, number one, that look damaged or infected with blight or other diseases. Trim them off. Right now, probably 2 or 3 inches, or anything from the canopy that can be touching the ground. We want to clean that up to prevent any of that splash up of soil on the leaves. Again, that mulch is going to help, but we want to clean those damaged leaves up as we're setting right now. Best fertilizer that you can use for your tomatoes. Any all-purpose fertilizer is...
like a 10-10-10, something within that range.
We use Sustain.
Yeah.
We also use Purple Cow Organics. They have a line of fertilizer as well.
The biggest thing is that no matter what you use, you can use organic fertilizer. You want to follow the directions, so don't think
a little is good, a lot must be better.
A lot is better. No, you want to avoid that. So definitely all-purpose fertilizer, something like a 10-10-10, and go ahead and just make sure you're following the directions.
We use a 464 from Sustain. We also use an 824 from Sustain, and Blue Mills Landscape and Garden Center carries both of them at their place there, West Loomis Road. Another question is there a way to keep birds from stealing my fruit without using a net, which can be harmful to the birds? The birds can get tangled up in the netting and prevent the plants from the birds from getting tangled up. Netting is really the only thing. The other thing is you can use like a bird feeder, bird bath, and put it next to or close to the area for where the grapes are, the cherries, or wherever the berries are. They'll distract them that way. That's another way. That was, and also grapes work. Becca from Las Vegas asked a question similar to that in regards to how to keep the birds from eating the grapes on that.
Shannon asked, in flower gardening, you pinch the flowers or deadhead flowers based on the variety in order to encourage more flowers to develop. My spinach is going to seed, going to flower. Can I pinch the flowers off the seed head to encourage the plant to grow more leaves rather than flowers? Well, this question can be related to leaf lettuce, bok choy, other cool weather crops in that family, and the answer is simply no. You could do that, but here's the problem. Once the plant has already began its reproductive state or begin to bolt, put that center stalk on and begin to put flowers on, the leaves are extremely bitter and almost inedible for human consumption. The best thing to do is either pull it up or allow the plant to go through the cycle of saving seed to seed production in order for you to save seeds. Radishes, on the other hand, they will produce a flower and then a seed pod. That seed pod in the green state is edible. Once allowed to dry, it almost turns into like a cardboard state where the seeds are in the pod, and those can be saved and replanted. But yeah, once these plants go to seed, the bitterness is too strong. And herbs, on the other hand, if they're going to seed, basil is one of this category. You can pinch the flowers off and it doesn't affect the flavor. You can continue to get it to continue to put leaf structure on. But again, you want to keep these things hydrated, the herbs in that instance. There's a couple of reasons why they would go to flower. Stress and drought is one of them. But on the spinach, no, you're pretty much done on that. Replant it in the fall. How deep of a container do I need for bush beans? I have some space on the patio that I would like to grow bush beans in. Well, a container of at least 6 inches in depth would be good enough. 9, 10, 12 would be even better. The plants need a lot of root space, but again, 6 inches will work. The more soil you have in a container, the slower or the more time it takes for the soil to dry out. The smaller the mass of soil you have in a container, the quicker it will dry out, and you most likely or potentially can forget to water, and then your plants will die because you haven't watered it. So keep that in mind. Let's see here. Will rhubarb grow on a hill that I can just walk up and pick it? Looking for a good perennial plant that will fill the side of the hill. Well, this would work great. Yeah, rhubarb will work phenomenal on a side of a hill. You don't have to mow it. The hill, if you have enough rhubarb. There's other perennial plants in which you can grow berries, that type of thing. If you've got more of a kind of partial shade area, berries like that a little bit better than the full sun. But that works great. That saves you from trying to continue to plant and replant annuals like tomatoes or peppers or something on the hill. But rhubarb works very, very well. Chad J79 commented on one of the videos that we put out, the in-studio video of the radio program. He says, thank you for all the informational videos that you put out. I listen to you online every Saturday morning here in DeForest, Wisconsin, and watch all of your videos. Well, we greatly appreciate that, and hope that you take some of what we are offering and able to apply it to your particular growing area. No matter where you're at in the country or world, we're here to provide information. We make the mistakes so you don't have to. We are out of time, and we certainly appreciate yours. The time goes by very, very quickly. Programming note, join us next week when we're going to discuss what and how to feed your plants to keep them healthy throughout the growing season so they produce as long as they possibly can. As well as we'll look into the world of micro farming, as well as Stan DeFreitas. He is known as Mr. Green Thumb, radio and TV personality, as well as horticultural expert. Miss any portion of this program or want to revisit it in its entirety, you can certainly do that by clicking on the radio tab at the top of the page, the WisconsinVegetableGardener.com, for full-length in-studio video as well as podcast on iTunes, Stitcher, Podomatic, and Google Play. Want a specific interview or individual topic? You can find that under the highlight tab on the main page. Until next week, for Holly Baird, I'm Joy Baird, and we will see you in the garden.
You have been listening to the Wisconsin Vegetable Gardener Radio Show. Tell a friend and join Joey and Holly again next week so we can all grow together. The Wisconsin Vegetable Gardener Radio Show is a production of the WisconsinVegetableGardener.com in association with WI Garden Media Broadcast live from the WNOV 860 AM and the W293CX 106.5 FM. Courier Communication Studios in Milwaukee, Wisconsin.